got curious about needles because the guy used to do needles, used to do it once a day. So they used to do it like 3-4 times a day. So I wondered why should I be doing it 3 times a day if I can do it once a day? I started injecting.
Heroin is one of the most addictive drugs. The cravings, they are severe. You can't do anything when it's not in your system. So you gotta have a shot, then after the shot, now you are normal.
In Kenya, drug addiction is a menace. It is wreaking havoc across different age groups, but with a major impact on the young people. The coastal region has the highest prevalence of drug abuse, followed by the eastern and northeastern parts of the country.
Police in the coastal city of Mombasa have arrested a man suspected of engaging in drug trafficking. Detectives say Mwinyi Saif Ali alias Mwinyi Marebe was arrested allegedly with 1 kilogram of heroin, bang and packaging materials among others. The arrest is the biggest in recent times.
South Coast, it's one of the best places to hang around, even if you are not an addict. But for us addicts, we find it more fun when we are high on any substance. Maybe weed, maybe heroin, but Mombasa, you know, it's known for heroin. So there's a lot of abuse of heroin in Mombasa.
As the country grapples with ways to curb this devastating menace, we bring you the story of 2 friends who were fervently using heroin and became addicted. But through the grace of God, got rehabilitated and are now in recovery.
When we were using, sometimes we used to spend all the money we had because it's never enough. You can't have enough of heroin. You keep on wanting more and more, and more, that's spending.
Every used to inject used to become a wound with abscess and pus. Becomes very big wound, and the needle is very small. You're not supposed to see it.
Stephen Kilonzo is a young man who had ambitions to achieve quite a lot, but his addiction to heroin changed the trajectory of his life.
I am from around Tala. I've traveled around the world. I'm a recovering addict. I grew up in Nairobi, came to Tala. Tala was my second home. My pops built there. I grew up there. And then secondary school, after secondary school, go to university, then I started traveling around. I've gone to many different places there. I've been to Toronto, I've been to New York, I've been to London, I've been to South Africa, as well as Kenya. So now my home is Kenya. My ambitions was to become a doctor. I had the qualifications. I want to go to school and do medicine. It wasn't possible for whatever reasons, it was not, but I did IT and I went to London and then later finished in New York. So there I went for studies and then I stayed there, became a citizen. I'm a dual citizen. Now I'm here. Okay. This is home.
His addiction started when he was outside the country pursuing an education, but was consumed with getting a high, and peer pressure played even a bigger role.
I had a girlfriend in London. She used to do heroin. She's the one who made me get curious about it because I used to drink beer and all that, marijuana sometimes. But she used to be so high. I used to look at her and she used to be so high than I was. So I became curious. So I wanted to try. When I tried it, it was like, boom, I'm going away. Never come back. I never looked back. Became a problem. Became an everyday habit. It started with a weekend thing. Feel good thing sometimes when you go to have drinks, dinner. Feel good, nice thing. And now it became an everyday thing because now you have to get withdrawals. Every part of your body aches. Now it has to be, it's like a medicine now, not a high. So when I reach that point, it becomes different because I'll rob in daylight if I don't get it. Snatch the bags. I did all those things. Now it became an everyday habit. So I used to do it every day. Every day you have to get some high, mix sometimes with cocaine, but heroin, it's a pandemic.
Back in Kenya, the story of Stephen's friend Donald was also unfolding, and the fear of missing out made the worst of him as he got knee-deep in addiction.
My name is Donald Mwakabi. I'm a recovering addict. I'm 2 years and 9 months clean. Yeah, I've been doing hard drugs, heroin and cocaine, or rather we'd call it crack cocaine. I did my high school in Mombasa County. After that I went to Mombasa Polytechnic. I was doing IT. So when I was there, I met some good friends. Then I started it because of peer pressure, because there are guys who are doing it and will go and have fun with the girls, and they were having confidence talking to the women and doing stuff. So I needed to be like them, so I needed to fit in.
The two friends would each find themselves exploring ways to use the heroin drug and eventually settled on the way that would get them the biggest high.
Heroin comes in a powder-like form, yeah? When it comes in a powder-like form, we put it on Rizla, if you know what I'm saying, smoking cigarette paper. You put cigarette inside, and then you spray it on top. You roll it, you smoke it. You can mix it with marijuana, cigarette, it doesn't matter. However you do it, you're still smoking heroin. Okay, and then after that we develop, and then I started injecting. I used to do it. Before then, there was this chasing the drug on, doing it on a foil on paper, and then I smoke it. It burns and produces a very, very, very strong smoke for somebody to get whatever you want to get. It's a high medicine, whatever you want to get. Very strong smoke. So then I developed from that. I got curious about needles, because the guys who do needles used to do it once a day. So they used to do it like 3-4 times a day. So I wondered, why should I be doing it 3 times a day if I can do it once a day? I started injecting. I used to do it once a day. Still, after some time it develops. Start doing it also, it becomes the same thing, 3 days, 4 times in a day. Depends on how much money you have.
It started like something for pleasure. I was having good time when I was doing it. Then it reached to a point where I couldn't do without, because heroin is one of the most addictive drugs. The cravings, they are severe. You can't do anything when it's not in your system. So you gotta have a shot. Then after the shot, now you are normal. Because without the shot, you are not normal. You're like a sick person. The one for direct to the veins was the better one, eh? And it could stay for so long in the system. So I started injecting myself, and after that it became a menace. I messed up everything, even my inner circle, my friends, all the people, they ran away from me.
Stephen would later move to New York in pursuit of a master's degree, and his addiction got worse, leading to his life taking a turn.
I went to New York. Still the same story. Drugs everywhere. It was a pandemic. There was cocaine everywhere. Heroin was everywhere. Big supply. If you don't know it, it is there when you don't look for it. But when you look for it, you know it is there. It is everywhere. I was there for studies and work. So when I finished studies, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. Then I started to work at Coca-Cola because of the qualifications. But you see, same problem always. Drugs. Expensive drugs, hard drugs, want to finish your money very fast. So it's still the same problem. Still the same problem. We used to do drugs and all that, and it became too much because you don't have money to keep or spare and do other things you have to do. There are people you have to look after. You don't look after them. Yeah. So basically, then I had a problem with the Department of what do you call it? The police. Then I went to the Department of Corrections, spent 2 years. Then I came back to Kenya. I was not deported because I'm a citizen. I just came back to Kenya, home. Still I found the drug here. Still a big problem. In the prison, it was the same thing. Drugs are in supply. You just have your money. If you have your money, you can get what you want. So now when I came back to Kenya, same story. Drugs are everywhere. As long as you're looking for them, you'll find them. Getting a hit will always never be a problem as long as you know the right people and you know what you want. It's like buying a car. You want a car, you go to car dealers, somebody show you the nice car is, a particular car that you want. So me, if you want a certain drug, just talk to a guy. You know each other by looks. The way you dress, the way they look like, you know. I know that's an addict from 1 mile away. That's an addict. So I come to him and ask him, hey, what's up? What's going down? He tells me, yeah, let's go there. Fine. It's everywhere.
As Stephen and Donald reflect, life during that period of addiction had detrimental effects not only on their personal lives, but that of immediate family as well.
The effect of using drugs, of using heroin in particular, is very, very severe, if I may use that word, because it affects everybody around you. It affects your mama who's around you, it affects your kids, it affects your wife. You start stealing things about the house if you don't have money. Now you start stealing outside the house because you finish everything in the house. Everybody has realized that you're stealing things. I'm thankful and I'm grateful I never reached to that point because I used to work for my own. But that's how it is. Most of my friends, my inner circle, that's what they used to do. Rob people's phones, rob people in daylight, rob people in the evening. You know, robbing. Heroin, that's what it is. If you want to live that lifestyle, well and good. Me, no, not for me. I want to keep my money and do other things, investments.
When we were using, sometimes we used to spend all the money we had because it's never enough. You can't have enough of heroin. You keep on wanting more and more, and more, that's spending, you know. So we could run out of money and we could look for anything around us. If it's a TV, we'd carry a TV and go and sell it. If it's a camera, we'd carry it and go and sell it. Because we've sold a lot of things, even laptops and what, a lot of things, even at home. There's even a time I took my mom's car, and instead of, I wanted to get high, and I didn't have money. Then I was like, Mom, give me some money, I need to go and fuel the car, because me, I don't have money. Then he gave me some small money which couldn't satisfy my craving. So I parked the car somewhere, I removed all the 4 tires and I went and I sold the tires so that I could get high.
The two friends have been on extreme escapades, and as Donald shares, one of them almost saw him lose his life.
One day we went to Mombasa. That day when we went to Mombasa, we were going to record a song. I was like his manager, so we were going to South Coast. That day, I can't forget, I almost overdid because I went like in a coma for like a whole day. I slept in the morning, I woke up around 9 in the evening. So I'd OD'd, I'd done a lot of it. And that's one of the days I saw my death. Another day I was so high, we were crossing the road, me and him still in Mombasa. Then I didn't look right or left, I was just crossing it. Then a car, by God's grace, it didn't hit me because I just made the first step. It stepped on me and it was passing so fast that it didn't even stop. Now you can imagine if it hit me, well, I could have been died and it could have been a hit and run.
According to the 2022 National Household Survey on Substance Abuse conducted by NACADA, Mombasa County has the highest rate of drug abuse in Kenya. The survey found that 25% of young people aged 15 to 24 in Mombasa County use drugs, compared to the national average of 6%. Based on this data, I was curious as to why many flock to coastal county to access drugs like heroin.
South Coast, it's one of the best places to hang around, even if you are not an addict. But for us addicts, we find it more fun when we are high on any substance. Maybe weed, maybe heroin, but Mombasa, you know, it's known for heroin. So there's a lot of abuse of heroin in Mombasa. And that's one of the local drugs you'll get around there. Heroin, then you can lace it with weed, or if you don't lace it with weed, you can just inject it to yourself. Yeah, and then you get to feel the high there, then you get to enjoy the time there.
The effect of injecting is very, very severe. You start with the veins all over the body. You start injecting, the veins die down and go, they disappear. So after some time, you don't have any veins. So it becomes, after like 2-3 years, if you had many veins everywhere, you start injecting the foot, start injecting here, start injecting where, nowhere, everywhere, because you don't have any vein. So that is the first effect of injecting. You lose your veins. There's no way the doctor can treat you or put whatever they put on your. There's no way. You have to find another way. Maybe find some vein on the neck or somewhere else, and still you might have even used the vein on your neck.
Stephen's path to recovery started when he experienced a rather dreadful infection after injecting himself several times.
First of all, I had a needle break in my muscle, in my vein inside it, broke inside. I had to go to a doctor to see it and remove it. Did an X-ray, whatever and ever, they removed it. Secondly, I got an infection from the needle that I'd used before, the previous day or the day after. Because at that time, I didn't have a needle or money to buy the needle. Because the government supplies needles, but sometimes they didn't supply. So I used a needle that I'd used before. And it has some bacteria or something. It gave me some infection. So when I used to inject, everywhere I used to inject, used to become a wound with abscess and pus. It becomes a very big wound. And the needle is very small, you're not supposed to see it. So that was my turning point. I was about to die. It became a very, very bad infection. When I used to feel sick, I think it's a withdrawal problem. So I used to go and get high again. But I was sick. I wasn't realizing I was sick. So when I get high, I feel I'm okay. I get high again, I feel I'm okay. But still, the bacteria is inside, the infection is inside my blood. So after some time, it became so severe, people had to take me to hospital when I couldn't move. Whether you inject heroin or not, I couldn't move. That was my turning point.
Kenya introduced needle and syringe programs as part of targeted interventions among people who inject drugs in 2012. The needle and syringe program is a huge complement to existing HIV prevention and care efforts and has provided an opportunity for a specific focus on people who inject drugs as a key population.
They normally do something called harm reduction. They provide those people who inject drugs with syringes so that they don't spread HIV, because when you share a syringe, there are high chances that you're gonna get infected if the other person who was using it had HIV.
Donald's journey to recovery has not been an easy one. He had been to rehab 3 times with not much success.
The first time it worked and I tried working it, but because of the company I was keeping around, it didn't work. So I relapsed and I messed a lot. After messing up a lot, I realized I hit the rock bottom. Then I realized I needed to change my life. I went back to a rehab. I came out clean again. I got married and I opened a bakery, started working. Everything was going on well. A friend of mine came called Losh, went back because he had a lot of money because of the company I was keeping. Still the same thing, yeah. So the company was keeping with Losh and some other friends. I relapsed again. I went back to drugs. After that, I hit the rock bottom again. The same cycle.
That time, with more willpower and an approach that he felt would work, he made progress.
So for that time, I checked in a rehab, and that time I was so determined that I'm gonna stop this way of life, because I have kids. Kids are growing up. When they grow up, they're gonna be told your daddy used to be a junkie or your daddy is a junkie. So I needed to change my way of life. So we had an agreement, me and the rehab guy. Me, I'm here for just detox. I'm not gonna stay here for 90 days because I know this system. I've been there several times, and what matters a lot, it's you, the willpower you have, the willpower. Even if they lock you there and when you get out, you can easily relapse. Most of the guys, they check out of rehab today, and in the evening they're in the dens, either drinking alcohol or injecting. So me, I had that willpower, and I'd say, this time I'm gonna do it. That was at that time. So I stayed there for like 30 days. Then I came out out of the rehab. After I came out of the rehab, I met another friend of mine who was from South Africa. A lot of temptation. I started doing it again. Then after doing it, reality slapped me again. When it slapped me again, you know what I say to myself? This time I'm not going to a rehab. I'm going to do it my way. And that's when I choose to do it cold turkey. Cold turkey is when you don't take any medicine, you just decide that you are going to experience all those withdrawals, and they are very bad. You can't sleep, all the muscles are aching, you can't do anything, you have mood swings, you can't see even well, it's blurry. And God is good, and I believe there is a higher power, because I made it through, and I'm so thankful for that. And I'm also thankful for my family and my wife for supporting me along the journey.
For Stephen, he was also taken to rehab, but it didn't work. Currently, he is on methadone maintenance treatment used by opioid-dependent patients to reduce their withdrawal symptoms and cravings.
Rehab was not my decision. It was somebody else's decision. So there's no way it would have worked, because it was not me, and I had not accepted it, and I had not chosen it. It wasn't even on my mind. Somebody said you should go to rehab, and they took me to rehab. I wasn't ready. I came back from rehab the same day, did the same thing. So you don't just take somebody to rehab like that. You talk to them, they tell you what they want.
Losh is a good friend of mine. So this is what happened. He was in Mombasa when I was in recovery. So it figured a time when his mother told me this guy is not doing well. So I told him, because I have a CBO, I have a community-based organization whereby we do advocacy and create drug awareness and substance abuse to schools and to the community. So I told him to bring him around. I can hook him up with a program called methadone. It's a drug you are being given in Mathare and in Ngara, in Nairobi, and also in Mombasa. So I told the mom to bring him over here. We checked in Ngara, so he started that program of methadone, and he's still doing it.
Now I'm on methadone program, and I appreciate the government for supporting, and any other organization that's concerned with methadone, I appreciate a lot, because I use methadone now, and I'm very okay.
While rehabilitation is proven to have tremendous success for recovering addicts, there is a role that acceptance plays to ensure one gets to recovery.
You know, most of the people, they are being forced to go to rehab. They are not willing to go, and the best thing about recovery, it's when you accept. We have something we call 12 steps. Yeah. And the first step is acceptance. That it's beyond your control, unmanageable. That's the first step. You have to admit. When you admit now, that's now when you take the step of going to a rehab, because you have a problem and you want to see how you can go about it. And fixing it means you have to go to you can go to a detox center first. Before you check into a rehab. A detox center, it's a place where when you have a lot of heroin in your body, where they take you, then they start giving you some medicines to clean out your system because of the cravings. The cravings are so severe, they are very bad. You can even die from the cravings.
Life in recovery continues to give the two friends hope as they aim to mend relationships broken and build their lives back up.
I've developed relationships with everybody. Everybody loves me now. I'm good, I'm cool. You know, the vibe is okay. But when I was using drugs, people were just shunning me, you know. They see you're thin, you're looking like this, you know. Somehow you look funny. Even if you have nice clothes, there's some way you just look funny. You look like a junkie. A junkie will always look like a junkie, and that's what it is. So my relationships are developed with everybody. With my wife, we are okay. And the rest of the family, the kids, the people, now we're on a different page now. We're not where we used to be. So that's a good one for me. That's a tick for me.
Trust, it's not something which comes easily. It has to be earned. And mostly I'd broken a lot of trust which people had from me. And now I'm trying the best I can, and it's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back.
As Stephen looks to pursue his love for music, Donald has taken on coaching and seeking to transform the lives of those in his community through awareness and advocacy on matters drugs and substance abuse.
Professionally, I'm a music director, video director, yes, music producer. All those, I'm in that line. That's what I'm doing. I have all the equipment. I've had it, but I've never used to use it because I was looking for high all the time. Couldn't sit down and produce somebody or sit down and produce a song for myself. But now I'm working on it.
I'm a certified recovering coach for NACADA, and I also have a CBO, which is based here in Tala, Matungulu sublocation, Machakos County. It deals with drug advocacy and sensitization and creating awareness to the younger generations. You know, they are the future, and most of them, they're indulging in drugs at a very early age. So since I've passed and I've gone through that journey, I usually tell them stories and try to motivate them and tell them they can make it without using drugs, and how drugs are harmful and how they can destroy people's dreams. The county government and the national government should partner up with NACADA and CBOs, which they are the grassroots in the community. Like mine, it's called My App, it's based in Tala. And we do sensitization and create awareness to the community because we need a sober nation.
There is power in acceptance and wanting change. For Stephen and Donald, despite a life of addiction, today they are proud of who they have become and continue to work on themselves to be even better.
I started to go to church. The father appreciates me because I go to Catholic. And I also have money to give tithe. I never used to have it. So I'm getting closer to God every day and day. And my faith is getting stronger.
We've been supporting each other and motivating each other. We can make it, even for the time we've lost, because we've lost a lot of time there before. And we also need to recover, and also we need to be the best of ourselves and be also role models to the community and to our kids also.
Just don't do drugs. Don't care about the high. Do other things. If you want to eat, drink, you can drink soda, that's good, but don't do any drug.